Hey everyone, welcome back and thanks for joining me once again here from the stable out in Monty Lake, BC. It's Wednesday, October 24th, 2024. And that means I'm your host, Sean Tomlin, and this is Upon Further Review. Just like always, we're going to break down all the action that happened around the week in this last week's action, touch on some things for next week, and talk a little fantasy football. You know what? Let's get into it right now. We had Thursday Night Football. The Broncos beat the Saints 33-10. Kind of a lackluster match. I didn't really like it too much. Javonte Williams had 2 TDs, 88 points. I didn't find it very exciting. Bonix had like 258 or something like that, and no touchdowns. Woo! That was great to see, and obviously Patrick Mahomes' wannabe was starting for the Saints, so see how he did there? Not very well. He ain't no Mahomes. Although I hate Mahomes. Righty. Sunday's action started off in jolly old England with the Jags beating the Pats 32-16. That was the only time I was really happy to see the Jags win. Because I hate the Patriots. And it was great to see them lose. Awesome time there. Then we had the Seattle Seahawks beating the Falcons 34-14. Robinson had a big day, 105, touchdown, 4.9 average. Great day to see. Bills beat the Titans 34-10. Bengals beat the Browns 21-14. Some stuff happened in that one. Packers ended up beating the Texans 24-22 on a game-winning field goal. Lions beat the Vikes 31-29, also on a game-winning field goal. Barkley, in his return to the Meadowlands with the Eagles, he beat the Giants 28-3. Rams beat the Raiders 20-15. Commanders beat the Panthers 40-7. Saw that one coming because the Panthers just blow. Then the Chiefs beat the 49ers 28-18. Sunday Night Football, we had the Steelers beating the Jets 37-17. And my most favorite game of the week on Sunday was the Colts beating the Dolphins 16-10. Huntley had an all-right game, and then he went out, and it sparked the Colts to a victory. Richardson didn't have the greatest day. Obviously, Jonathan Taylor's been out with the team. They got the victory. Hopefully they can keep that going next week for me. Monday Night Football had a doubleheader with the Ravens beating the Bucks 41-31. 5 TDs by Lamar Jackson that night. Horrible stuff happened with the Bucks. We'll get into that a little bit later. Cards beat the Chargers 17-15. And I thought this was just a snooze fest. Chargers don't have anybody on the outside to throw to right now. So all of their throws are inside short slants to the tight ends. It's effective. It moves the ball. You can get 3 points because they're getting range. But it is boring football. Kyler Murray ran for a huge run. That's why I got it confused. So that was good to see. But besides that, I thought it was just a boring match. So you could say it was a good match. Some people said it was a good match. I don't think it was a good match. All right. Let's move on to my picks for next week. Thursday Night Football, we got the Vikings versus the Rams, and I am definitely taking the Vikings in that one. Rams have looked pretty bad on defense, so got to take the Vikings on that one. Our Sunday morning matchups, we got the Colts versus the Texans. Do I really need to say who I'm picking? I will. It's going to be the Colts because they're awesome. Then we got the Ravens going up against the Browns. The Browns have been a dumpster fire again, as they have been. Have they ever not really been a dumpster fire? I guess last year they had a little bit of a good run, but that was they're regretting getting rid of letting Joe Flacco walk away. Then our next matchup is the Titans versus the Lions. Taking the Lions in that one. If I didn't say before, I'm taking the Ravens against the Browns. Then we got the Packers going up against the Jags. Taking the Packers because the Jags have looked pretty horrible this year. Cards versus the Dolphins. That one's going to be a toss-up. I'm going to go Dolphins. So let you know a little bit later why. It's a QB situation. And the cards kind of, well, they're the cards. Then we got the Jets going against the Pats. This is another one. Obviously, I'm not choosing the Pats. I'm choosing the Jets. Take it as you want. Yeah. Then we got the Falcons going up against the Bucks. Last time these guys played, it was a friggin' awesome match. So I'm going to say I'm taking the Falcons on that one, and it's a game to watch for this week. Then we got the Eagles versus the Bengals. Taking the Eagles in that one because you never really know what you're going to get with the Bengals. They've had glimmers of awesomeness, but not much of it. And then we got the Saints going against the Chargers. Got to take the Chargers in that one, even though they don't, like I said, they don't really have anything outside. But fake Mahomes isn't going to be able to get anybody either. And their deep threat is out, and I believe Olave is still out. Then we got the Bills going up against the Seahawks, and the Seahawks have been looking awesome this year. So I'm going to take the Seahawks on that one. Then we got the Bears versus the Commanders. Sorry. I'm going to take the Commanders, although the Bears have looked good in the past 2 weeks. Broncos, you're going up against the Panthers. I'm going to take the Broncos there. Last one, I was taking the Commanders. Chiefs versus the Raiders. A lot of things are going on with the Raiders, so I'm taking the Chiefs in that one. Sunday Night Football. You got the Cowboys versus the 49ers, and I hate to go against the Cowboys, so I won't. I'm saying the Cowboys are going to win that one. Then we got Monday Night Football, the Giants versus the Steelers. Obviously, this one's going to be the Steelers because the Giants, once again, look like hot mess. Last week, I was 9-6 on my picks. Overall, I'm 39-20. Take that for what it is. I think 39-20 is pretty good. So, I was 13-1, not last week, but the week before. So, maybe I know a little bit of what I'm talking about here. Maybe I'm just getting lucky. We're going to move over to some fantasy stuff. So, we got our top threes in all positions. For quarterbacks, we had Lamar Jackson with 45-plus points. Huge game for him. Baker Mayfield with 34-plus points. He had a really good game. And Russell Wilson having 30-plus points. He had an awesome debut to the season. Our running backs, we had Jamar Gibbs with 33-plus points. White with 29-plus points. Jaquan Barkley with 27-plus points. So good running backs all up and down. I thought King Henry was going to definitely be on that list, but he was just shy of top three there. Wide receivers, we had St. Brown with 26-plus points. Rashad Bateman with 24-plus points, getting those TDs from Lamar. Then we had George Pickens, 23-plus points. Pickens was looking pretty good. Now we had our tight ends. Njoku had 23-plus points. Jonnu Smith had 22-plus points. And Mark Andrews showing up in relevancy once again for fantasy with 20-plus points. We'll finish it off with my top three for the defenses. Not my top three, the top three. The Bengals, 42-plus points. The Broncos, looking stout as always, past few weeks, 40-plus points. And the Eagles defense with 36-plus points. Alrighty. Where are we at right now? Right. Our Week 7 matchup recap. If you didn't know, I do matchup recaps every week. If this is the first time you're watching, for my Fantasy Football League. Our Fantasy Football League, Cluster Frock 2. So let's get into that. It's going to be fun. We had Les's team, Tropic Thunder. Beat Caden's team. Golf is better. Caden, you're dropped. Got your second loss of the season to 5-2. Les, you got your second win of the season, up to 2-5. You took the victory 107-80 to 84-45. Les, you were led by Jamar Gibbs with 33-plus points. And Njoku with 23-plus. Caden, you were led by the Ravens defense with 19-plus. And Joe Burrow with 17-plus. Unfortunately, Caden, as I looked over your matchup, you did leave 35 points on the bench that could have helped you get that victory. It's hard to tell who you should start and who you shouldn't start in fantasy football, but sometimes luck just hits you. This time it didn't kick. Unfortunately, you were the only person in the league to have a player starting that got negative points. So that's a kick in the teeth. It's a double whammy there. In our next matchup, we had Graham's team, G-Spot, beating Lawson's team, Andy Reid, Anal Beat. Fucking hate that. Lawson, you were dropped to 3-4. Graham, you went up to 4-3. You took the victory 157-15 to 104-60. You were led by the Broncos defense with 40-plus points. Shaquan Barkley with 27-plus points. Lawson, you were led by Jalen Hurts, 22-plus. James Conner, 17-plus. James Conner had a good game. Lawson, unfortunately, he lost Godwin and Evans, which I'll get into later. Kind of sucks. You also started Deebo Samuel, who got 0 points. So that's rough. That's not a fun one. Grimmy had a huge victory there. So first year champ. Nice to see you getting into the win column again. Our next matchup, we had Nate. Your team is Billy Bob Jr. You beat Simon's team, the Mark Davis Bowl Cut. Nate, you're sitting at 6-1, leading the league. Simon, you're sitting at 3-4. Not bad. You lost the game 160-95 to 121-70. Nate, you were led by Lamar Jackson with 45-plus points and Breece Hall with 27-plus. Simon, you were led by Baker Mayfield, 34-plus points. And Drake London, 18-plus. Simon, you also started somebody who got 0 points. Mr. Sutton. Couldn't see that one coming. You also left 53-plus points on the bench that could have helped you. Could have helped you get that victory. But like I said with Caden, you never know. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. Nate, your team was led by Lamar Jackson for the 3rd week out of the last 5. So that's going to be a positive one. Obviously, he's a front runner for the MVP, and you're going to want to keep putting him in your lineup. Next up, we had Ty's team, Protect Your Holes, beating Dan's team, Pass the Dutch. Dan, you were shot down to 3-4. Ty, you shot up to 2-5. You took that victory 180-65 to 101-10. And you scored the most points in all of the league. And you had the biggest victory. So that's got to feel good. But in this matchup again, Dan, you started Anthony. He didn't play. He got 0 points. That's a rough one. Ty, you were led by St. Brown, 26-plus points, and the Bengals defense, 42-plus. Dan, you were led by the Bills defense, 28-plus points, and Bijan Robinson, 24-plus. So, good days all around. Our last matchup was my team, the Monty Lake Colts. Losing to Shane's team, the GB Packers. Shane, you went up to 4-3, dropped me down to 3-4. It was a 179-30 to 116-65 victory for you. You got spanked. I was never ahead. I was never going to be ahead. And I ended up losing. It hurts. But at least I had some good performances. I had Kareem Hunt with 22-plus points. Josh Jacobs with 20-plus points. That made me feel good. You had Mixon with 27-plus. The Vikings defense with 25-plus. And multiple other players with 20-plus points. So we'll just forget about that one for now. We're going to move on to who we're taking on next week. Next week, myself, I'll be taking on Caden's team. I'm 3-4. He's 5-2. Hopefully I can add another loss to the Caden column and add another W to mine. Then we've got Simon going against Ty. Ty, you got your 2nd victory of the season. Good for you, bud. Simon, you're down at 3-4. And Ty, you're 2-5. Sure you'd like to get in that win column again this weekend. And I'm sure Simon would like to get in the win column. But only one is going to. Our next matchup, we've got Graham. Going up against Nate. Going up against the top guy in the league. Nate, you're going up against our inaugural season champion. It's a hard one all around. Nate, you're sitting at 6-1. Graham, you're sitting at 4-3. Our next matchup. Shane. You're going to be taking on Lawson. Lawson, you're sitting at 3-4. Shane, you're sitting at 4-3. Is Lawson going to lose again? Could. Or he could win. We'll never know. Well, we will know. After next week. In our last matchup of the week, we've got Dan's team going up against Les. Les, you got your second victory as well this past weekend. Good for you, bud. I was there to see the joy and excitement on your face. Dan, you're sitting at 3-4. It's a tough one right now. You're still in the thick of things. Never know what's going to happen. And when I mean that, I'll let you know right now. Because we're going to go over the standings after 7 weeks. In the Happy Gilmore division, we've got Caden leading at 5-2. Graham, your team's at 4-3. Sitting in second there. Shane, died with them at 4-3. Then we've got Simon, here at 3-4. Dan, unfortunately, you're sitting on the outside. If the playoffs will start today, you would not make it. You're sitting at 3-4. But everything's really tight right there. You never know what's going to happen. In our next division, the Shooter McGavin division, we've got Nate. Obviously, he's in the top of the league. He's sitting at 6-1, so he's in the top there. We got Lawson's team. You're sitting at 3-4. You're sitting in second, tied with me as well, 3-4. And Ty, we've got you sitting at 2-5 in the playoffs. Unless, unfortunately, you're not sitting in the playoffs as well, 2-5. So there's room. You know, you can make something happen. Maybe Ty's going to make something happen. It's all a gamble now. My top 5 waiver wire pickups of the week. Caleb Williams of the Bears. Even though I've got the Commanders beating the Bears, Caleb Williams is going to have a good game. Mr. McMillan of the Buccaneers. He's the new de facto number 1 wide receiver. So, get to see this weekend. Is he good? Or is he just the only thing they have? Juwan Jennings, he's my next one. Ayuk goes out. Samuel's been out. Jennings, the de facto number 1, if he's able to get over that hip injury and get in. So, you're going to want to pick him up, I think. Especially with Ayuk being done for the season. Then, I think you're going to want Watson, Christian Watson from the Packers. You're going to want to pick him up if you're able to. And if you needed defense, I'd go with the Chargers defense this week. Safe bet. My top 5 starts. I'm going to say Tyreek Hill. If he's getting Tua back, Tyreek's going to be cooking. Javonte Williams, the Broncos running back. I'm going to say pick him or start him this weekend. It's going to be a good one for him. The Broncos defense. They've been unstoppable. You got to start them. Lamar Jackson, he's been unbelievable. You got to start him. And pretty much any wide receiver for the Jets. You're going up against the Patriots. They're a porous defense. They ain't good. Never going to be good. And it makes me happy. But yeah, Lazard, Adam, Wilson, get one of those guys in your lineup because they are going to get you some points this weekend. All right, let's go to goal to go. Finished off with our final thoughts here. Jamar Gibbs had a big day for the Lions with 2 touchdowns. Hopefully he can keep that magic going. Obviously, he shares some snaps with Montgomery there, so, you know, he's going to be sharing some time, but doesn't seem to be hurting him there. Big news around the sports world. The World Series is starting on Friday with the Yankees versus the Dodgers. Yeah, if you want to watch some good baseball, that's going to be some good baseball to watch. You got Shohei Ohtani on one side. You got Aaron Judge on the other side. Yankee Stadium, you're going to see a lot of home runs because, man, that place just loves home runs. It's a home run friendly ballpark, so take that into account. And they both are very good home run hitting teams. Let's get back into football. Tua possibly coming back. He's been practicing. He's got to come off concussion protocol, obviously. They said everything's been looking good, and then he'll be activated from IR. So there's a very good possibility you see him this weekend against the Cards. Rudolph started with the Lions in the second half. That was kind of a weird one. Rudolph sucks. So obviously something's either going on with Will Levis, or maybe they're falling out of love with him. I don't think he's a bad quarterback. I just don't think they have anything there. Now it's going to be even harder now that they don't have DeAndre Hopkins there anymore. They traded him away today. Russell Wilson, he ended up starting for Justin Fields. He had a great day. Everyone was just like, man, we're 4-2. Why you moving away from Justin Fields? He's not doing anything wrong. He wasn't. He's still young though. He's still got to learn a lot. Russell Wilson had a great game. He's got that veteran presence. So I would let Russell be cooking right now, and Fields watching and like learn, figure some stuff out, because you could be the quarterback of the future there in the Steelers. Obviously, they're both on one-year deals, so who knows what they're gonna do. But I'd definitely be saying you want to keep the younger of the two. It was a bad day for Houston all around. It was a close loss to the Packers. Obviously, it was a game-winning field goal. Hopefully, they can get out of the funk. Well, hopefully not this next weekend because they're going up against the Colts. Hopefully, they can get out of that funk, though. They are a pretty good team there. Mixon's been doing awesome. Daniels, as I said, he's week to week with a rib injury. Something to monitor, but I definitely think he's going to be out there against the Bears. The Rams apparently are open to trading Cooper Kupp, which I don't see as a very good thing. I think they could get an all-right return, but he hasn't been playing, so it's kind of hard to say what kind of a good return they would get. I would see a third rounder at the highest, maybe a second, conditional second or something like that. Another one that we had, Lamar Jackson's looking awesome, MVP type performance this last weekend on Monday Night Football with 5 TDs. Kind of a shitty one that happened this weekend was Deshaun Watson going down with an Achilles injury, and the Browns fans fucking cheering for it. You don't cheer for a fucking guy getting an injury. I know you guys are already a horrible fan base, but come on, that's pretty fucking shitty. I don't care how much you don't like him, or you don't think he should be starting or anything like that, or he shouldn't even be in the league because of all of his lawsuits and all that kind of shit, and he makes $230 million whether he plays or not. I don't give a crap. Don't fucking boo a guy because when he gets fucking or cheer for a guy getting injured and start celebrating that's fucking classless. The Saints, they ended up giving Alvin Kamara a 2-year extension, although earlier in the week, I think there was rumors that he was asking for a trade. I don't know if those are true or not. He has said that they were fake, and everything's all good. Sure. Ayuk is done for the season with an ACL injury, so that's just horrible. He got all that money in the offseason. They were hoping to see him, really live up to that status of being the number one wide receiver. It just did not happen in the time frame that he was on the field before the injury. Samuel missed the game with pneumonia. It's still up in the air if he's going to be playing. Mike Evans and Chris Godwin went down in the Bucs game on Monday night. Evans has a hamstring injury. He's probably going to be held out until after the bye week. I think that's week 9. And then they're going to bring him back. Unfortunately, Godwin is not coming back this week or this year at all. Horrible leg break. Rough to see. Just a horrible one to watch. You've seen the replay of that. Is fucking disgusting. Well, everyone, thanks for joining me. It was an awesome show. Hope everyone liked it. Don't forget to like and subscribe. If you like and subscribe, you will be getting notifications anytime I upload a video, so you can stay up to date when I'm putting out these videos here. And also, if you subscribe and we get up to 50 subscribers, I'm going to be able to do live episodes. So we'll do live on location episodes. Going to be going to Vegas here in a couple of weeks. Hopefully we're able to do some live stuff from there for you guys. But you got to start smashing that subscribe button in order to get there. Well, thanks for coming and joining me this weekend, or this week on this beautiful Wednesday. I'll see you guys all next week, bringing you what you need to know.